Hi, welcome back. So we are started seeing Ansible automation training with hands-on. As part of today's class, we are going to discuss about what is block, what is rescue, what is always methods, right? As I stated, our GitHub ID is Cloud and Love. For this Ansible training, you can stick with Ansible _ automation repository. For today class, you stick with class 16 folder. There is a text file called block-rescue-always.txt. Let's go inside. So before we go to this hands-on lab, you need to have one Ansible server and minimum two Ansible clients. This is Ansible server or Ansible control node. This is Ansible manage node 1, Ansible client 1. This is Ansible manage node 2, Ansible client 2, right? From here, if you ping, it should come with green color ping pong. Ansible space all space -m space ping, right? So let's go inside. I'm going here. So let's before start this lab, we need to have three window concept. One putty window, another putty window, another putty window. This putty window and this putty window both have to Ansible server log in as an Ansible user, right? This putty window, you log in as a Ansible user or directly as a root in node 1. That means the client 1, right? So you keep create YAML file here and keep execute YAML file Ansible playbook here so that you can save a lot of time. I have the same three window open, but before going to this, my setup is Ansible all -m list. So node 1, node 2, Ansible all -m ping, which ensures my setup is ready, right? So now I'm going to say block.yaml. So in this case, set paste insert mode, go back to the steps here. What is mean by block? What is mean by rescue? What is mean by always, right? So suppose I have to execute my task, say task 1. If the task 1 fails, automatically the task 2 has to be started, right? Even the task 1 or task 2, whatever the case, the task 3 has to be executed always. So this is always, this is rescue, this is rescue, and this is block, right? So first we will see block and we'll also see a rescue and we will see always, and with combination of all three, what is the real-time use case, right? So go here. I'm going to copy this example. So in this example, I am introducing only one section, right? One logic block. Basically, we are installing HTTPD, memcached, and we are starting HTTPD service and enabling the service across reboot. It's a persistence, right? So, but when whatever servers you have, the server should be CentOS, right? So as of now, I'm going with just for make you comfort, I'm mentioning node 1, but in real time, you mention some group name. The group may have CentOS servers, may have Ubuntu servers, may have SUSE servers, may have Windows servers, but at the end of the day, this has to be applicable in this group of servers, right? Let's go here. I'm going to copy this, right? And going to paste in here and save. Don't come out so that you can save a lot of time. So Ansible -playbook What is the playbook name? Block. So enter it, make sure you have saved it. I think we have saved it, right? So enter. So if you look at this execution, so HTTPD is getting installed, Memcached is getting installed, and the service is getting started. Start service and enable it. This is exactly we have did it. So to make you understand, instead of CentOS, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wantedly change Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. So I given this example also here. So first you execute with this CentOS condition, then you replace this with Ubuntu, right? So I have changed it. Now the changes has been saved. Let's see now what will happen. I'm going to execute it. So definitely the second play will be skipped. Why? Because the condition is not satisfied, because it's a CentOS. It's not a Ubuntu, right? So now if this kind of a scenario, if this fails, then you have to do some other task based on this. If fails, take a backup, or if fails, then go for the other check, right? So those kind of a scenarios, block rescue will be really, really critical logics. If you understand correctly, then it will be easy for you to support on your day-to-day system administration, right? So there is another example. Here, we are going to also have rescue. So in this, we are handling some simple print message, and forcibly we are creating a scenario where we are failing this task. That means play, right? So if it is fails, the beauty here is, suppose if this fails, this will not be executed, this will not be executed. Immediately the control will be transferred to rescue section, and one by one in rescue section will be start executing, right? So if it is, there is no error, this will be executed, this will be executed, this will be executed, then the task will be completed. If any one of the play thrown error, automatically the control will be transferred to rescue. So you need to apply a logic mostly in the first play itself. Say for example, you have a two set of servers, like you have 1,000 servers, 500 Ubuntu servers, 500 Solaris servers, right? Or 500 Red Hat servers, 500 SUSE servers, SUSE Linux, right? So in that case, first play should be, you need to check the specific OS kernel. So because if this play fails, automatically the next section will be start execute, right? Which is rescue. Let's see this. I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. Before that, we will clean up again. And I'm going to say set paste and insert mode and save it. Let's see now what happened. So now it will, there will be error forcibly. So the control will be transferred to automatically here. See here, print when errors, right? See here. So the control is started transferring to rescue. So it started executing in rescue. Even you can say, even you have 100 plays here in rescue, all play will be executed because the control is transferred. Say print my name, right? So here I can say debug message equal to never give up till fight with this automation, right? So save it and execute so that you can very well understand if there is any error, automatically the control will be start execute from rescue section one by one, right? So the same here, automatically it's transferred to rescue section and there are two play has been executed. So now we will go here, and now as I mentioned, there is a task one. section. This is the block section, right? And there is a task 2 section, which is the rescue. In block, if you execute, then rescue will be ignored. If the block, any of the task is failed, then rescue will be started executing, right? So either block or rescue, then the task 3 always has to execute, right? That is a always. How this logic works. So let's go here. I'm going to copy this, okay, and go here, delete everything, and say set paste and insert mode here. So the one more thing I forgot, the block rescue always, right? So if you see the indent, go to always, see all block rescue are starting with the same indent, right? Even inside there is a play. So this play and this play and the first 3 plays, all starting indent is same, right? You also make sure the same kind of a indent format, right? So now as part of this, what will happen if there is a error, then control will be transferred to rescue. All play in rescue will be start executing, right? Once the rescue execution completed, then by default, whatever mentioned here, always section also will be executed, right? Always is very important. Maybe some reporting mechanism or some monitoring or some alert, everything you can make it as a, or some service restarted by default, whether you have a successful or error or some configuration backup, everything you can target in this section always, right? So let's clear it out and I will make sure whether it is got saved, and then go back to the other window. All right. So check this now. Always section has been executed, right? See here, always do this. This always executes, right? So this is how you need to understand the logic. So open up your PuTTY windows and do the playbook here, save it, and another window, you keep execute this, try to understand. So this is how you need to understand the logic with hands-on, right? And come down the other example. So basically, this is one of the real-time example. So basically the task 1 is install VSFTPD package and we are taking a backup. And there is a file we are deploying. Basically, it's a Jinja 2 template. We will cover it, what is Jinja 2 in coming classes, right? So basically, we are replacing the old configuration file. And while doing this, there is a error. So which is the block section, right? So the moment we got the error, something, see, you are trying to break something, you are trying to change something, there is a issue. So you need your responsibility to restore back as it is, as it was before, right? So this is a rescue section. You need to start execute. And once the rescue is completed, then you need to print a message, right? And you need to start the service also, right? This is the always section. So this is the real-time example. I have created a playbook. So let's see. To do this, there is a file you need. Okay. So open up this repository. There is a 2 files you can find out. vsftpd.jinja2. So open up. First, what you will do is click the raw file and copy this URL. Go to your Ansible machine, right, where you are executing all these playbooks. So say wget and download it so that you can download this file ls. So vsftpd.jinja2. Yes, this is the file. If you want, you can verify it. vsftpd.jinja2. Yes, everything is fine. Now you go back to the example, right? Come down. So As part of this, what we are doing is this variables I'm calling, right? So come down, there is a install VSFTPD installing, and we are copying this backup, and also we are using Jinja2 template. We are replacing that configuration file, and then come down. So there is a file is not exist, and then automatically it is trying to roll back. Okay, so we are printing some messages to make sure everyone is understanding what rollback is happening, right? And also there is a backup file which we taken, right? The same backup file is getting rolled back, restored back, and we are restarting it. So this is the simple agenda we are trying to execute as part of this lab. So delete all this, set paste, insert mode, copy this. There is a any indenting issue, probably you can check it. So we have saved it. Come down, cat block.yaml to make sure all changes are taken effect. So now what we are going to do is we are going to execute this playbook. Let's see what happened. Okay, so there is a server one for our, you need to change a little bit according to your client name. My client name is node1. So change it and saved it. So here you can execute this playbook. So what will happen is it will try to do this. There will be a issue. So it will get the rollback, and after the rescue section completed, again the always section will start execute. So this is the real-time scenario where you can do all your admin activities, backup activities, restore activities, change activities, everything. Block rescue will be more critical logic, right? So go for another example. This example is pretty much straightforward. You have set of OS 1. This is maybe Red Hat servers. This is another set of OS servers, OS 2, right? So this is another set of servers. Maybe you have 500 Red Hat servers. Maybe you have set of 500 SUSE Linux servers, right? So if you have such environment, you need to implement something. But this OS, the steps are different. This OS steps are different, right? But I don't want to go for two different implementation. I want to achieve in one single implementation, but with controlled manner. How to achieve this? You can achieve block rescue very easily. See here, this is basically a systart implementation. We all know our clients, our server is CentOS. So in this case, the first block section I have created as a Ubuntu perspective, right? So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. Okay. I'm going to delete everything and say set paste, and then insert mode, paste it. So let me walk through what is going to happen, right? The same set of steps, but with different OS. So first I'm checking what is the OS, right? So I'm capturing the register, which we seen in the previous classes. So I'm defining it when, right? So this you can get it in the normal Ansible space all space -m space setup. So from there you can take this value. Based on this, you are installing systart and you are copying the systart as a backup. Let's go down, and then you are replacing some word, and then you are configuring the systart file and adding some line and restarting the systart service, right? This is exact same steps you want to do in CentOS set of servers, right? So in CentOS also you are doing the same, but see here, there is a catch. So this is the logic you need to define as a first play. in both block as well as rescue, right? And always, if you want, you can add it also, right? So copy this and paste it. Okay, so here there is a small indenting issue before execute, otherwise it will throw error. So you can easily redirect, but now itself better you can correct. Remote SRC, it copied with different indent, right? So let's check again. What is the, I want to do only one host first. Sorry, node 1, right? And one more thing I just want to show you is this, because while taking a backup, I want to take a backup of the timestamp, right? So in Ansible, there is some syntax. So you need to adhere this syntax. Other syntax are giving error. So this is the tested syntax. So even you can use it for this syntax for your other purpose also. While taking backup, if you want to restore, you can very well identify some common repository, right? So let's save this changes. Now go back to your other window. We are going to execute it. So in this case, see, there will be an error now because Ubuntu. So automatically the control will be transferred to rescue section, and rescue will be start executing one by one. See here, CentOS, right? So Ubuntu is thrown error first itself. So automatically the control started, transferred to rescue section, and all rescue section has been executed. So this is how you need to practice and project yourself as a real-time experience in this logic as part of your day-to-day system administration responsibility. Thanks everyone. Stay tuned. We will come up with more hands-on. Thanks.